So I ask the question and then just answer it?
You ask the question.
To me.
He answers, and then you
Oh,
answer.
and then you could be like, how about you type of thing? Okay.
Yeah.
You ever watched any interview online?
It's been a while. When did you start working for Kyle Police Department?
I just started working for the Kyle Police Department in 2016 as a patrol officer.
So I started with Kyle Police Department in March of 2018. Started out on patrol, and then say January or February of 2021, I started actually our mental health unit. We didn't have any unit before that. It was a little rough start because obviously there wasn't anybody to learn from. So I built a lot of contacts in the community and able to build up the unit to what it is now. And now I have a partner in Officer Leathers. We opened up a second position for the mental health department, and Officer Leathers was definitely a great candidate. He's jumped into it with both feet, and he's done really well. He has a real care for people in mental health and people in crisis. He's done really well.
What is the best perk of your job?
Best perk of my job is I'm able to do interviews like this. The best perk of the mental health unit is being able to spend more time on calls, being able to follow up with people more. When you're on patrol, you kind of are just going to call to call to call. If somebody calls the police, you show up and that's it. You don't get to follow up with them, and you're kind of in somewhat of a hurry because there's other calls pending. But being in the mental health unit, we only respond to calls pertaining to some type of crisis or mental health in that regard, and you can spend more time on it, right? We can, if we have to take 2 hours, if we have to take 3 hours on the call, just sit there and talk to people, we can do that, or I wasn't able to do that before. That's just been a huge perk. So what's the biggest perk for you?
I would say just talking with people in crisis and with mental health issues. It takes a special person and a lot of training, but mostly a special person just to be able to deal and interact with individuals with mental illness, and I find that very rewarding in what we do.
Are you from the area, or did you move here for the job?
I am not from the area. I moved from South Dakota, but I was born and raised in New Hampshire. But I moved for a FedEx job, which I did not like, and then I always wanted to be a police officer, so I saw a billboard one day when I was driving home angrily from FedEx, and it said, "Are you ready?" I said, "I am."
You're ready for AC in your vehicle?
Yes.
Yeah, I get that.
What makes working for the Kyle Police Department different from any other agency?
It's been good. Like, I've been here for about 6 years.
Not the question.
A little over 6 years.
What makes working?
I'm getting to it. Nah, I forgot the question. Yeah, go ahead, answer the question. You wanted to answer it so bad.
I think what makes working for the Kyle Police Department different from any other agency is we're still kind of small town vibe, so a lot of us still know each other, whether that's patrol or you're in special services or you're the administrative side. It's still small enough to where you can walk up and you can say hi to people and be like, "Oh, hey, what's up, Officer Leathers? Oh, hey, what's up, Officer Waters?" And people know us, we know them, instead of a big agency to where you could be working for a county or a large city and you don't even know who's in the same district that you're in. You don't know who your administrative professionals are. You don't know who's on the other side of town. So I think it's still that small town vibe, but it's it's growing and we're still getting big city feels.
What does your typical workday look like?
Our typical workday is in the morning we'll first get coffee, and then we'll look at events and incidents that the night shift prior to went to, whether that's welfare concerns, verbal disturbances, harassment calls, and we'll see if we are needing to follow up with any of those individuals, if there was any sort of mental illness related into those calls, and see if we can follow up with the complainant or the victim or even the suspect in some of those cases. And then we will try to do follow-ups that we schedule with other people that we've interacted with before. That usually takes us to lunch, and then we'll just continue follow-ups. We'll take calls for service, and yeah, whatever the day brings, it varies depending on how busy we are. One day it could be very busy, could be very slow, but we usually typically try to stay proactive and busy. What is your favorite thing about Kyle?
My favorite thing about Kyle is probably going to be Costco. That was great. It's probably my favorite store. It's where I get most of my clothes, except pants. They do not make pants for tall people, so.
That's how you know you're a father, when you buy your clothes at Costco.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the dad thing going.
You got it.
Yeah, I don't have like the socks and sandals thing yet. I'm working on it. I do have a fanny pack. Has a patch that says "Trophy Husband" on it. It's pretty accurate.
Yeah, I don't know where you found that.
It's pretty accurate. My wife said so. So I'm just saying. Yeah, no. Where was I going? What was the question?
No, you answered it.
Yeah, okay.
What do you love most about your job?
What I love most about this job is kind of goes back with what we were saying before, just having the freedom to help people, having the freedom to actually, do follow-ups with people, being able not just going call to call to call and not even thinking about the last call, but being able to sit down, spend time with people. I know there's the Vietnam veteran you work with a lot. We're able to go out there and talk to him every week, and it's nice to build those relationships and the rapport. And even when patrol can call you up because they're out with somebody and that person asks specifically for you by me or me by name, and it's just nice to know you're actually helping people and people actually remember you and care about you and stuff. So.
What I love most is interacting with people and hearing their life story and what led up to either the crisis that they're in or just where they're from, how everything in their life is going, and then seeing how everybody's story is different. And
you know what? I don't remember asking you.
You didn't have to, because I asked myself.
What is a simple definition for mental health?
Simple, I guess
simple definition.
The definitions of mental health is the ability to cope with everyday and life stressors and the ability to overcome those stressors.
Yeah, we said simple.
It's pretty simple.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Next. Why is mental health important? Why is mental health important?
Can I see that card? Anyway.
Why is mental health I'll answer. It's fine. But having good mental health, I think, is important because it'll help you just maintain a balanced lifestyle, whether it's you're learning about dieting, learning about exercise, things that are going to benefit your health and your mental health. I think a lot of people think of mental health and then think of physical health as like two totally different things. And I think a lot of times they're one and the same. I think if you're suffering in your own physical health, your mental health will probably start to decline as well, and vice versa. So just learning about mental health, things to do to help your own mental health, and whether it's going for walks in the morning, and that's going to help with depression, whether it's, now granted there is those more of the serious mental health things that are more of something you have to live with, but learning and how to live with them and how to have a healthy lifestyle while living with a mental illness. It's important to learn how to do those. How is your job important to the community? Or my job, but you're there.
No, our job. Our job is important to the community because we have jail diversion. We're ultimately there solely to help people. We're not here to take people to jail. We're here to provide them with services throughout the city, throughout the county. We can also provide resources outside of the county. Those are usually private. Our job is important to the community for the resources that we can provide to people with them having very little knowledge of what is available to them.
So I'm just going to read off this invisible card. What resources do you offer the people of Kyle?
We have various resources, facilities for juveniles, adults, addiction. We have resources for, you name it. We can provide a resource for almost anybody struggling from almost anything. And if we can't find you an answer, we will ask somebody who can get you that answer, and then we'll provide that to you. The local mental health authority here in Kyle is Hill Country MHDD. That stands for Mental Health Developmental Disabilities. And they deal with Hayes County, but then also 18 other counties, so 19 counties total. And they can work with you if you have insurance. If you don't have insurance, they can do prescription orders, counseling and therapy options, and they are our main resource that we go through. But we can also provide lists from research that we have done for places in Travis County, San Marcos, Austin, San Antonio. So
Sounds good.
yeah, it did.
Yeah.
No, I haven't. What advice would you give to someone who is interested in doing what you do?
Like, if you want to be a mental health officer or crisis intervention officer, kind of depending on whatever the department calls it, obviously first you're going to have to start out in patrol and be a patrol officer for probably a few years. So I think while on patrol, take an interest in calls for that have to deal with crisis, mental health, anything like that. Learn about the people, go to the hospital, go to clinics, talk to social workers, talk to doctors, learn the process, talk to the mental health officers, get information that you think will be pertinent to helping people out, show that you're willing to help people out in these crisis modes. I know on patrol you get real caught up in like going to all these calls, but if you actually take a little bit of extra time to sit down and talk to somebody, just treat them like a human being, just listen to them. I think there's the quote that police officers speak every 7 seconds while they're interviewing somebody. It's because they always want to be talking. Learn to listen, and I think that's probably one of the biggest things. If you can listen, probably practice with your wife. Anyway. Spouse. So we do want to talk about if you're suffering from suicidal ideations, or a family member or friend, or you know somebody struggling, there's always help out there. The national hotline would be 988. You can call them, text them. They work with your area, no matter where you're at, they're going to work and try to get you resources for your area. If you could always call 911. Especially if there is a crisis, it's going to probably be a lot better to call 911. You can ask for a mental health officer. If we're on, we'll definitely come out. That's what we're here for. I think a lot of times people are nervous to call the police because they put police together with going to jail or getting in trouble, but the reality is that that's not the case, especially for us. Like, we don't deal with the criminal side at all. We're come out, we're going to assess the situation, we're going to help that person as much as possible, and we're going to try to find the best help and resources for you. Even if we drive you there ourselves, we're going to get you there. So
the advice I would give to somebody suffering from their own mental health issues is just be strong. Don't handle it alone or think that you can handle it alone, because it could potentially just get worse. And to reach out to us, or somebody that you trust. It doesn't specifically have to be us. It could be somebody in your support group if you have one, and tell them what's going on. Somebody who's a non-judgmental ear, somebody who will support you through what you're going through, and be strong in yourself and just reach out. That would be the biggest advice, and know that you're not alone in your own struggles. Multiple people, hundreds of thousands, millions of people have gone through something similar as to what you were going through. And be strong, get help. You're not the only one, and we can assist you if you need it.
And we like to say that suicide is a permanent solution to a temporary problem. I think the situation that you're going through right now, just talk to somebody about it. A lot of people try to get through things by themselves, and they don't want to reach out for help. But there's always people out there willing to help. Reach out to us, reach out to a friend, family member. There's somebody out there that's willing to help you. Just reach out and help. Suicide's not the answer to your problems.